may the person who took her, may God open their heart.
Tuesday, February 27th, 2024. It was more than 30 hours after 13-year-old Madeline Soto was reported missing by her mother, Jennifer Soto. Telemundo 31 is an Orlando television station that was first on the scene in the case of the young girl who was mysteriously reported missing the day before on Monday, February 26, 2024. Telemundo 31 works on current breaking news affecting Hispanic communities in various surrounding Florida counties. It turns out they captured interesting video footage the night of February 27th, which included not only an interview with Maddie's mother, Jennifer, but also footage of Jen's boyfriend, Stephan Sterns, talking with presumably 2 police officers, perhaps homicide detectives. That night, Sterns and investigators ironically chatted near the same silver 2010 Lincoln MKZ 4-door vehicle with Florida license plates that they would suspect Sterns used to transport Maddie's body just the day before, on Monday, February 26th, between 1 p.m. through 2:30 p.m. in the area of Highway 192 and Old Hickory Tree, as well as Old Hickory Tree Road and Nolte Road. Maybe the cops didn't have all of that information yet through investigative efforts and video surveillance retrievals at that point in time. From their stance on February 27th, though, they can be seen intensely questioning Sterns, who had removed the backwards hat from his head that he can be seen wearing in other images from that night. His distinctive beard is evident in the darkness, along with his drooping pants hanging low on his waist. Sterns seems to don flip-flops and stands close to Jen, who has her hands in the pockets of her hoodie during certain times. Also seen in the video footage, walking towards the camera, are Yolanda Zambrano, Jennifer's mother, and perhaps her sister, both women who would go on to give interviews to the news in ensuing days as well. An unknown male walks with them. The yellow caution tape blows in the wind and partially blocks the view of the camera. In the telling February 27th video titled "Madeline Soto's Mother Suspects That Someone Took Her Daughter Missing in Florida," we can see the yellow police caution tape blocking off the parking lot in front of the Telemundo 31 reporter that evening, proving that investigators already suspected that the condo at the Venetian Bay Villages complex, where Sterns, Jen, and Madeline lived, was the scene of a crime. In a more recent video, Telemundo 31 would release additional B-roll footage, the one that shows Sterns and cops near his silver Lincoln car, which appears on the right-hand side to have the same hubcaps we would later see released in Kissimmee Police Department photos. We don't get to see the left-hand side of this car on video, which sported a temporary tire on the backside. Did Sterns really get a flat tire that Monday and replace it with a spare tire on the side of the road? Or was that all a ruse to have an excuse to pull over oddly to the side of the road and dispose of Maddie nearby? Either way, one wonders if the cops caught any weird odors from the car on Tuesday, coupled with weird behaviors from Sterns that night, that led them to dig further into questioning the man. As you can see from the footage, Jen and the others walked toward the yellow tape, perhaps to prepare for her interview with the reporter, while Sterns remained in the background, speaking with police. He didn't speak on camera that night. The description of Telemundo 31's video from February 27th reads, "The minor, 13 years old, did not arrive at school in Hunters Creek, Orange County. Her mother found out about her absence from school when she went to pick her up in the afternoon." The Telemundo 31 video that featured this extra footage from that night is titled "Police Provide Update on Madeline Soto Case," which was published on March 21st, 2024, and included the previously unreleased B-roll video from February 27th. We can take a look at most of that video at the end of this video, but please note that the AI translations from Spanish to English may not be 100% accurate. Also, I don't know why my AI translation tool randomly says the word subscribe in their dubbing translations when I don't think the speaker is saying that in their original language. I've placed links to the original Spanish language videos below, so you can watch all the footage yourself. Just 2 days prior, on Sunday, February 25th, Maddie had celebrated her 13th birthday at the home of her grandmother with friends. Then on Monday, February 26th, it would take nearly 9 hours for Jen to report her daughter missing because Jen claimed she had no idea that her daughter didn't make it to Hunters Creek Middle School that day. As February 27th came to a close, attention on Maddie's case began to grow, and by the next day, her grandmother would speak out to the press. Yolanda would plead with the person who took Madeline to allow God to open their heart.
Where is Madeline Soto? From the Sheriff's County in the town of Santa Cruz, the young Hispanic girl of 13 years old who has been missing for more than 30 hours. They're still looking for her.
The severe impact of traffic of the explosion where she was last seen. As the president also said, next time in David, Palomino speaks with the mother.
To make it hard for them to create obligation, and we have been since questions are the culprit report of a vehicle who accused a very small child of a rocket.
In the morning, my boyfriend took her to school. He left her beside the church that's right next to the middle school. And they left her there and she started walking and he want to hold you safe, boy?
Without any information.
Who took dogs to see if they can catch her scent there. I think they are investigating right now. The videos left on the street. There's a video of a church next to the school where they believe they see my daughter.
From the city of Bogota, the younger one wears a green sports shirt, black shorts, and white Crocs. Family report.
What does your mother's instinct tell you?
In my heart, someone was given to me, my daughter, because it's not normal for her to just go away, to run away. She's not that kind of person.
Ancestors have not reported a case in the...
Please, I just want her back, safe and sound. That's all I ask for.
The authorities have been working to ensure who meets with Dr. Strong's thorough investigation.
Also on Tuesday, February 27th, Jennifer Soto and Stephan Sterns both spoke to WFTV Channel 9 about Madeline's disappearance, and their interviews would be widely criticized, especially once the news organization published their full raw interviews on March 1st, 2024. However, the snippets seen on Tuesday, including Sterns lurking in the background of certain interviews around this time, were enough to draw negative attention to the duo. Wednesday, February 28th, 2024. By Wednesday, another news organization had joined in the reporting of the strange disappearance of Maddie. Reporting from the scene of the crime pretty early on was Asher Wildman, a weekend evening anchor and reporter with Spectrum News 13. His forthcoming videos would prove the deepening investigation of the events surrounding the condo due to the crime scene tape still evident around the condo, as well as forensics vans seen on video the following day. On Wednesday at 4:26 p.m., Wildman had a question for Orange County Sheriff John Mina about the biological dad of Maddie. The reporter tweeted, "I asked Orange County Sheriff Mina if Madeline's father was someone they were looking into with their investigation and was told he lives in Texas. Bloodhounds have been used to help find her and they can track a scent up to a mile away." As the search for Maddie continued, Univision published a video that Wednesday that included footage of Maddie's grandmother talking about giving up hope 3 days after Maddie's disappearance. Even though the video is titled "Madeline Soto, the boyfriend of the mother of the missing teenager, is arrested," it is obvious that the interview with Yolanda took place prior to Sterns being arrested later that night. That's because Yolanda spoke to Univision about her belief that someone took Maddie away. She complained about the notification process at the school not informing parents about Maddie not showing up at school earlier in the day. For some reason, Yolanda seemed to echo the sentiments of her daughter in claiming that cops were wasting their efforts in the manner in which they were searching for Maddie. Please note that the following English dubbing translations of Yolanda's interview should probably say that the grandmother wanted her granddaughter handed over to them properly and alive. The dubbing software seems to get tripped up at times, but it is helpful in getting a general idea of what's being said.
When she turned 13 years old on February 22nd, she said she wanted to live in the
But
forest.
for Madeleine's grandmother, the efforts of the police are in vain.
I think we're wasting time looking for the way back. It's
Subscribe.
been 3 days. Nothing is showing up. I'm sure the girl must have been taken from here.
The family believes she was kidnapped. Is there any possibility of
So,
this?
you know, that's why we have...
That's why we have all these people out there. We don't know if they were kidnapped or if they left on their own. She left her phone at home, and that's why we're putting all our effort into finding her.
Madeleine was last seen on Monday, February 26th at 8:30 in the morning, when her mom's boyfriend dropped her off at a church close to Hunter Creek Middle School.
How is it possible that a girl does not get to school and Orange County notifies at 6 in the evening by regarding a recording? Their child was not absent from school today.
Hours when the family did not know Madeleine was missing.
Because it was 9 hours without the school or us knowing anything about the
So
girl.
they asked the county to change its policies.
Why don't they do that at least the first period? When you see that a child hasn't arrived, call, whether it was because they were sick or have a medical appointment. I think Orange County needs to change that.
Now the heartbroken family is preparing for the worst.
I am running out of hope. 3 days have passed since the girl disappeared. At this point, I fear the worst has happened.
But they keep the hope that Madeleine will come back home.
Everyone who has any information, even the slightest, please contact us or the police. May the person who took her, may God open their heart, hand her over, and that they'd hand her over properly, that they'd hand her over alive.
By Wednesday night at 9:52 p.m., news of Sterns being arrested was being published, along with his perp walk video. Ironically, he turns his face away from the video camera, not wanting to be filmed. Regarding his arrest, the Orange County Sheriff's Office tweeted in part, "This evening, the Kissimmee Police Department, working in conjunction with the Orange County Sheriff's Office, arrested Sterns, 37, the boyfriend of Madeline's mother, and the last confirmed person to see her on the morning of Monday, February 26th. During the investigation into Madeline's disappearance, Orange County Sheriff's Office detectives discovered disturbing images when they forensically examined Sterns' phone. A review of the phone's data revealed attempts to delete evidence. Through the work of our digital forensics unit earlier today, detectives discovered images and videos that were criminal. Detectives then were able to determine that those crimes were committed at the family home in Kissimmee, and they immediately notified Kissimmee police. At this time, KPD detectives are the lead on the case, working alongside members of our Criminal Investigations Division. OCSO is still actively investigating Madeline's disappearance, and Sterns is considered the prime suspect at this time. This afternoon, Sterns was brought to OCSO Central Operations, where he was interviewed by Kissimmee PD and OCSO detectives. He invoked his right to an attorney and was placed under arrest and transported to jail, where we expect he will be held on no bond. Sterns had an opportunity tonight to come clean with detectives and help lead them to information about Maddie's disappearance, said Sheriff John Mina. Her loved ones deserve answers, and OCSO and the Kissimmee police will not stop until we find Maddie. The search for Madeline continues.
It has something to do with what John Mina said about something like that. The last message sent by the 13-year-old girl on her birthday was that she wanted to live in the forest. This is leading them to this area. However, they also indicated that they are going all over and looking for all the cameras from the last area where the girl was seen.
Also, on February 28th, more than 100 officers searched a wooded area of Osprey Park in Hunters Creek for Maddie. According to Sheriff Mina on her cell phone, there is information that indicates that she told some people when she turned 13 that she wanted to live in the forest. For her part, Madeline's grandmother told the media that Wednesday that she had lost hope and, I think the worst, about the then 3-day disappearance. It seems that no interviews with Maddie's family took place or could be found after Sterns' arrest, Thursday, February 29th, 2024, at 3:14 p.m. on Thursday, February 29th, Wildman tweeted a video with the caption, "Happening now, pair of Kissimmee PD Forensics Unit vans pulling into Venetian Bay villages. This is where Sterns lives." Exactly 40 minutes later, at 3:54 p.m. on February 29th, Wildman tweeted photos and a video with the caption, "Kissimmee PD Forensics Unit at the building of Sterns." Nearly an hour later, Wildman had gotten in touch with Sterns' dad. At 4:50 p.m., he tweeted, "Spoke to Sterns' father this afternoon. Told me the family doesn't want to get caught up with the media, but did tell me. We are completely blindsided by this. There's no way to expect something like this. He also wants the investigation to play out." Friday, March 1st, 2024, Sterns' jail call records sent to Plunder True Crime revealed that he called his dad at 10:35 a.m. on March 1st, prior to Maddie being found. The talk seconds are listed as 0, so it's not clear if his dad accepted the call or not. By Friday afternoon around 1:29 p.m., Sheriff Mina announced investigators are now confident the missing 13-year-old is dead. Evidence revealed she was never dropped off near her school on the morning of February 26th. Law enforcement is still working hard to find her, he said. Around 2:03 p.m. on March 1st, Sheriff Mina said that video evidence shows Sterns discarding items in a dumpster at the family's Kissimmee apartment complex at 7:35 a.m. on Monday, February 26th. Investigators later found Madeline's backpack inside that dumpster. At 8:19 a.m., video shows Sterns returning to the complex with Madeline visible in the car. "We believe she was already dead," the sheriff said. Sterns is the boyfriend of Madeline Soto's mother and the last person to confirm seeing her the morning of February 26th. By 6:14 p.m. that same first day of March, investigators announced that Maddie's body had been found, likely as a direct result of a tip that came in from their call for witnesses to Sterns' movements. Was it the same man who had written the following comment on Facebook? "I saw him around 1:20 p.m. Monday on Old Hickory Tree pull over on a roundabout that has a cargo shipping container. He was in on the right-hand side heading towards Harmony. He was wearing a green light brown hat backwards. I didn't see anyone else in the vehicle. He was outside the car at the back left tire with a tire iron. Looked like he was changing it but couldn't say for sure." When he reported this info, They told me it was not enough information or the information they were looking for. Nevertheless, at about 4:30 p.m. on March 1st, off of Hickory Tree Road, Osceola County Sheriff's Office search teams located the body of Madeline Soto in a wooded area. Madeline's family has been notified. We have no additional information to release at this time. Kissimmee PD is the lead agency in this homicide investigation. That work continues, they wrote. Sunday, March 3rd, 2024, at 4:43 p.m., Wildman tweeted, Kissimmee PD tells us they're still working on their investigation for the case involving Madeline Soto. The ADA for the case tells me they can't comment during the ongoing investigation. I spoke to Madeline's father, and he tells me he would like his privacy at this time. Sterns' call records sent to Plunder True Crime show that same day he made some type of text message to a San Antonio number at 5:15 p.m. from a test station. Who did Sterns text? A lawyer or someone else? Surely Sterns had learned of Maddie's discovery. Thursday, March 21st, 2024, Chief Betty Holland spoke live from Kissimmee Police Department on the progress of the investigation for the Madeline Soto case and took questions from the media. She reiterated the fact that 60 charges had been added to Sterns' case and that detectives were working hard to determine all of those involved. No one was cleared.
Colleague Kwame Martel.
Iris, good afternoon. As you well heard in that press conference, the first question we asked as a media outlet, the question was whether Madeline Soto's mother is currently being treated as a suspect, a question we did not get a direct answer to, but rather the police chief from the Kissimmee department was saying that everyone closer part of the forensic doctor who will be sending us that data as soon as they access to them. It's important to highlight that at this moment they say almost all the questions they have about the investigation have been answered, but they say they can't share them because they might compromise the investigation. At the moment they say that the mother is cooperating. They say they only had with her just a interview and that the only person who at this moment has not given no kind of information, has not issued a comment, it has been Stephan Sterns. What are they doing right now?
Everyone that was close to Madeline is considered a suspect until we have proven otherwise.
We repeat, at this moment what she says there is that everything world related to Madeline Soto is being considered suspect. And why is this important? Because we consider it as details. Good, because if you remember the press conference we had, which was the Orange County Sheriff's Office, when this same question was asked about whether the mother was related or not to this case at some point regarding a type of criminal activity, they told us that at this moment she is not being investigated as a suspect. However, we see that today they tell us that absolutely all people close to them are doing it. Iris, I want to see if you have any question for me in the studio.
Yes, Gomay, there was a question you asked the Kissimmee Police Chief today during the press conference that seemed to deeply move her. Tell us about it.
Well, yes, Iris, a question that we could see on her face, it affected her, is that we were asking her if there is anything in particular about this case that catches your eye, something that keeps you up at night. Then he was basically telling us that there are many what affects him most about this case. And in particular, he says that the main message he has taken from this case is that parents must be and that they must have ongoing conversations with them about anything that might be affecting them. Even he highlighted that if having kind of suspicion that something like this or some type of sexual abuse might be happening in their home, it's extremely important that they seek help. Also, look for all the resources available right now in the community. And to say goodbye, I also want to highlight that another question we asked is, they have already reached the Woolies' schedules, to which they replied that they are still investigating at the moment as they don't have an exact date. Iris, back to you.
Thank you, Guamay.
Meanwhile, Maddie's biological dad and stepmom recently issued a statement saying they are utterly devastated by the loss of their beloved daughter. They said that her absence has shattered them, and no words can express the depth of their grief. They also asked for privacy as they mourn the loss of their dear daughter. Understandably, they want justice for Maddie. Ezekiel 21:26 thus says, the Lord God. Remove the turban and take off the crown. Things shall not remain as they have been. Exalt that which is low and abase the high.